Hey, what's happening everyone? Jinsula here with a brand new Pokemon Go video. I hope your day is going really well, and let's get right into it. Okay, so over the weekend we had the Wild Area Global event, and quite a lot of trainers were participating with this event. And if you happen to be one of those trainers, let me ask you a question. What in particular with the Wild Area event stood out the most? I bet a majority of you are going to say it was the Mighty Pokémon, and to that I agree. In this video, I want to talk about why I believe Mighty Pokémon are actually the future of Pokemon Go, and it's not going to be anything like Dynamax Pokémon or with any of the features that they released recently. It's going to be all about these Mighty Pokémon. I really feel like what Niantic should do is put a lot of emphasis onto these new kinds of Pokemon and have them something that we could get in the wild. I like the idea of Mighty Pokémon being within special events, like with the Go Tour event, Go Fest event, and of course with the Wild Area event. But I think this is something we should be able to encounter within the wild, because I think for everything that they're trying to do with Pokemon Go, it is exactly going to fulfill that mission, in particular with their whole emphasis on exploration-based play. If they want to get players to go out and play Pokemon Go outdoors, then one of the best things that they could do is include Mighty Pokemon in the wild. It's something that you can encounter as a super rare spawn, and if you encounter them, it's going to give you high IVs and a high chance of being a shiny, and I think this is something that Niantic should look into. I mean, when it comes to exploration-based play, there's certainly a lot of things that Niantic have tried out. For the past 2 years, I will say that they did a spaghetti on the wall approach, where they would create a whole bunch of different mechanics and different features in hopes of getting players to go out and play Pokemon Go outdoors. And I totally understand that what they want to do with Pokemon Go is something that is a fundamental core aspect of this game. You really cannot enjoy Pokemon Go just sitting from home, and that is something that has been a part of this game since the very beginning. So for Niantic to push the game back towards that sort of gameplay totally makes sense. But at the same time, I feel like for a lot of the things that they've been implementing, it just really did not fit with how players actually enjoy this game. But when it comes to Mighty Pokémon, I felt like this was a stroke of genius. Having these special Pokémon in the wild was something that really made the Wild Area event apart from everything else that they've done. And I do think that for what it's worth, this is something that Niantic should treat as the future of Pokemon Go. Mighty Pokemon need to be here to stay. Now, another thing I want to talk about is in relation to everything that they've been doing for the past couple of years. I'm talking about routes, party play, with a lot of the stuff that they've done with Team Go Rocket. I really do think that all of that stuff was pretty good for what it's worth, but it really pales in comparison to Mighty Pokémon. I think at the very least, they could integrate Mighty Pokémon into some of that other stuff. I think that could definitely work. But aside from that, I really do think that simplicity is the way they should go. They don't need to add a whole bunch of different mechanics to get players to go out and play, and they certainly do not need to nerf what players are already enjoying. I'm talking about remote raid passes. What they should do is add a lot of different features like Mighty Pokémon that will actually get players excited about going out and exploring, because chances are they might run into one of these special Pokemon, and that will definitely make their day. These sort of things are what makes Pokemon Go so much fun. Like back in the day when Pokemon Go first released, the excitement of coming across a Snorlax or a Dragonite or even a Lapras in the wild was something that really made Pokemon Go feel special. Yeah, you got the same Pokemon every single day. You would often see Pidgeys, Weedles, Rattatas, and Spearows, but occasionally you might come across a very special, very rare Pokemon, and that really did encourage you to go out and explore. This is something that I definitely felt when I first started playing Pokemon Go, and it's something that was lost from Pokemon Go over the years. And it's something I've definitely talked about on my YouTube channel. I feel like when it comes to exploration-based play, Niantic has been going about it the wrong way. But with the introduction of Mighty Pokémon, I think there is a huge opportunity here for Niantic to actually bring Pokemon Go back to its roots. A lot of the excitement that we used to feel, they could bring it back with Mighty Pokémon, and I really hope that something that they consider for 2025 is the introduction of Mighty Pokémon within the spawn rotations every season. So yeah, this was my main takeaway from the Wild Area event. I certainly had a lot of fun from the event, and it definitely exceeded a lot of my expectations, but I really went into it thinking that Toxtricity would be the main emphasis, that you would need to raid for Toxtricity or you would need to do Dynamax battles for Toxtricity. But really, Toxtricity was an afterthought. All I really cared about was going after those mighty Pokemon, and for all the people that I was playing with and for all the people that I ran into, it was the same story. A lot of those people did not care about anything else other than mighty Pokemon, and it was definitely something that created a lot of excitement and a lot of buzz within the Pokemon Go community. A lot of people were calling out different mighty Pokemon with 100% IVs, and you would see a mob of people just sprinting to those locations hoping to get those Pokemon, and possibly it being a Shundo. I think this is the level of excitement that was missing from Pokemon Go for such a long time, and it's something that I felt really glad was back in the game, at least for one weekend. But of course, it's really going to be up to Niantic whether or not they continue on with mighty Pokemon or if they're going to relegate them to just the Wild Area event. I don't know how okay I will be regarding that, because I would really like mighty Pokemon to just be a part of Pokemon Go, but yeah, it's totally understandable because they need to have some sort of selling point for the Wild Area event, because with every single special in-game event that they have now, there is always some sort of selling point. Like with the Go Tour event, it's all about the specific generation that they're highlighting. We have the Anuva Go Tour event that's coming up, and I'm pretty sure that they're going to be putting a huge emphasis on releasing more Anuva Pokemon so that when that event comes around, it's going to be a lot of fun and incredible for pretty much every Pokemon Go player. Now when it comes to the Go Fest event, that typically is a celebration of Pokemon Go, so they tend to have a lot of different mechanics and different raid bosses that you typically do not see. It's usually a pretty good time, but with the Wild Area event, it feels like maybe what they will do is have the Wild Area event be the Mighty Pokemon event. And I don't know necessarily if that's going to go over well with the Pokemon Go community, but at the very least with this first ever Wild Area event, it definitely was a popular point, and I do think it's something that Niantic will look into. So yeah, all in all, I'm really happy about mighty Pokemon being in Pokemon Go. I think this one cool thing was a huge home run for Niantic, and I just hope they continue onward with it, because yeah, Pokemon Go has needed a lot of positivity. Ever since they nerfed remote raids, it's just been negativity and negativity constantly when it comes to the Pokemon Go community, but I see a lot of people celebrating mighty Pokemon, so yeah, chalk this up as a win for Niantic. I really do think they deserve a lot of credit for coming up with this, and I do hope they continue to do things like this in the future. So yeah, but in any case, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know your thoughts regarding everything that I talked about down below. Did you participate in the global Wild Area event, and what did you think about mighty Pokemon? Definitely share those thoughts in the comments, and let's have a great discussion. And thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of this video. I am Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself, and I'll catch you in the next one.